Most people see Jiayuguan as a steel town in the Gansu desert. A company city built around a furnace, replaceable, forgettable. What they're actually looking at is a city that learned to own the end of the Great Wall and charge for the path. Welcome to China in 5, where we make sense of China through its cities. Last week we looked at Pushan, a city that built an invisible healthcare empire, while the world looked at its shoes. This week we're in City 39, Jiayuguan. And here the question is sharper. What happens when a city stops producing what is replaceable and starts holding what cannot be moved? To answer that, you have to look at how Jiayuguan made that shift. These are the 10 that define it. 1. A city built around a furnace. Jiayuguan was not meant to be a city. In 1965, a furnace was placed in the desert. Jiuquan Iron and Steel Works was formed. Workers arrived. Housing followed. A city formed around the plant. Jiayuguan exists because steel was made there. 2. The edge of the corridor, the Hexi Corridor. A narrow strip between mountains and desert, stretching toward Xinjiang. Remote, exposed. For a long time, the railway simply ended here. A place you reached, not a place you chose. 3. When the fort became usable, then the designation came. Jiayuguan was named a National Tourism Service Standardization Pilot City. The fort changed status. Not just preserved, activated. 4. A city owned by steel. For decades, everything revolved around Jisco. It employed the city, paid the taxes, defined the skyline. Even when it lost money, the furnace stayed. Because the city had nothing else. 5. The risk of being replaceable. Steel can be made anywhere, closer to ports, closer to demand. Jiayuguan had no second identity. If the furnace stopped, the city stopped. 6. Choosing the gate. So the state made a different decision, not to chase another industry, to anchor something that could not be moved. The fort, not sold, not outsourced, held. 7. The state holds the core. The municipal government operates the fort. Private capital builds around the fort. Hotels, restaurants, services, but the gate itself remains public. Control stays at the center. 8. A monopoly of meaning. The western terminus of the Ming Great Wall. You cannot replicate it. You cannot relocate it. Its value is not in what it does. It's in what it represents. 9. When access arrived. The fort did not change. The world around it did. The Lanzhou-Xinjiang high-speed railway opened in phases between 2014 and 2017. The rail was built to bind the western provinces to the coast, to move goods and labor and capital, to make the periphery legible to the center. Tourism was not the priority. Connectivity was? But connectivity delivered the fort. A journey that once took 18 hours from Longo. A full day of rattling through the Hexi Corridor, watching the landscape flatten and the green disappear became a 4-hour commute. The high-speed train leaves at breakfast. You are at the gate by lunch. You can be back in the provincial capital by dinner. The airport expanded. Direct flights from Beijing, Shanghai, Xi'an, Chengdu. The highways hardened. Self-drive tourism turned the journey into a rite of passage. The road that ends at the wall, the drive to the edge. The fort did not move. People did. And once they could reach the terminus in a single day, the question was no longer, is it worth the journey? It was, when do I go? The infrastructure was not built for the gate, but the gate was ready when the infrastructure arrived. That is the lesson of access. You do not need to build the road. You need to be standing at the end of it when it opens. 10. Why Jiayuguan matters to China.
From Beijing's perspective, Jiayuguan is a prototype.
It shows that a dormant asset, something the state did not build, but inherited, can be turned into a permanent system. Publicly owned, immune to competition. A revenue stream that does not depend on industry. If that works here, at the edge of the desert, in a city built for a furnace, it can work anywhere. That is the identity. The gate at the end of the wall. If you want the full structural breakdown, the deep dive decodes how the system was restructured, how new functions were built, and how the boundaries between them were drawn. The companion essay explains how Jiayuguan fits into China's broader system, its connections to Lishui,
Galag,
and Kashgar, and what it teaches about holding while you work. Both are linked below. Next week we move to Foshan. where a manufacturing hinterland learned to upgrade without destroying itself. We're not here to admire cities. We're here to understand what they reveal. This is China in 5.